as we continue on here for a fantastic, fantastic day. Thank you for joining us. KJAG.com. Lots of stuff happening. I got 25 different monitors I got to look at here. And my God, it's what it is, as they say. It is what it is. That song, that music bed I just used, holy shit, that's insane, and that's busy. Okay, let's go to Clinton Woolsey. He has been patiently waiting. We're going to go to our next guest. He is going to join us live here on our big broadcast, coast to coast and border to border on iHeartRadio today, and also the Sunday radio broadcast, as well as our good friends over there on the Quad Pod. And we go to our next guest. Can you hear me, my friend?
Yes, sir. I sure
Look
can.
at that.
How are you,
brother?
brother?
Look at that. Usually when people say sir, I'm like, who walked in behind me? So talk to us a little bit about yourself. Give us an introduction, my friend, and fill everybody in on all of your greatness.
Well, my name is Clint Woolsey. I sing and play guitar with a southern rock band called Stone Senate, and we're based out of Nashville, Tennessee here.
So, Stone Senate, how in the world did you guys get started? For the folks that are have been hiding under a rock for the last couple of years and haven't heard of Stone Senate, kind of give us some details on Stone Senate.
Well, we've been together, I guess it's about 2008, and it's a 6-piece band, and the majority of the band members all live and are from Meridian, Mississippi, and so we all met up here in Nashville. Nashville being kind of the hub, for songwriting and a lot of musicians and all that stuff, man. And so we met up there and started to really just want to start a band, man, and try and make a living at it. You know what I mean? And so just been at it ever since, and just been getting busier and busier each year,
That's awesome.
Thankfully.
That's awesome. Now, you guys have put together a lot of great music. You guys have been out there making all sorts of things happen. Talk to me a little bit about this latest record.
Man, let's see here. We had a single that went out a little over a week ago called Always Never Fades, and it's on all the streaming sites and all that good stuff. And it's part of an EP that just came out this past Friday called Dawn. And to really make things confusing, this EP is part of a full 13-song album called Between the Dark and the Light, and the full album will be out by the end of the year here. And
so why did you plan things this way? Why did you guys make it even so confusing that the guys in the band are trying to get this figured out?
I know, right. We like to make things as confusing as possible. We were really just trying to build our streaming audience, and your social media, or our social media, and all that stuff, and really, I mean, we strictly just toured like year round, man. We took every show that we were offered really for years, man, and so we were doing well over 200 shows a year all across the country.
Wow.
And so really, we have a great team together with our management and our record label and stuff, and they're just really trying to. They wanted an opportunity to build up our streaming audience and all that. So they kind of slow walked the releases and all that stuff, But it seems like it's working pretty good, and and there's always some new music coming out, every couple months and all that. So
Well, actually, in a roundabout way, you guys have done a pretty cool little deal here because you guys have plenty of music out all the time.
Yeah. You know, in the past, the first two records we did, it all went out with a lead single, and then it was out there. You know what I mean? And so then obviously you got to start planning on doing the next one and writing for it and recording it and all that stuff. And it's quite the process. But so this way it kind of gives us a little bit more time, you know. And like you said, there's always some fresh music out there, you know.
I think it's great, man. I think it's great. Stone Senate with us today. They join us live here on our big broadcast. So tell me a little bit about some of the members of the band and how you guys all got started and everything.
Well, let's see here. James Edwards is we've got two lead guitar players. It's almost kind of like a Skinner type feel, you know what I mean? Being a Southern rock band and stuff, we obviously love Leonard Skinner and the Allman Brothers Band and all that stuff. So the two lead guitar players, James Edwards and Ted Hennington. And then on drums, we got David Zettler. On bass guitar, we've got Kieran Cronley. And then on harmonica and selling merch, Chris Sauerbrei.
That's awesome.
So we're a six-piece rock and roll band from the South, man. You know, trying to make it all happen.
So tell me a little bit about some of the different people you've worked with over the years.
Man, you know what? We've been really lucky over the years and stuff. We started doing a lot of the motorcycle rallies, and so we had the opportunity to open up for Styx and Collective Soul a couple years ago out there in Sturgis. Wow. And
that's pretty badass.
Man, I'm sorry.
That's pretty badass.
Oh yeah, man. We're all big fans of both bands. You know what I mean? So that was really cool. Man, we just opened for Little Texas a couple weeks ago.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic.
Out in Independence, Missouri and stuff, and you know, I'm trying to think of everybody. Really, we've played with several country music artists, and a lot of the classic rock artists, a few of the new active rock artists and stuff out there, and so. The cool thing about this band is that being Southern rock, you kind of get a lot of country music fans, but you also get a lot of rock fans or classic rock fans or active rock fans. And so it's a very diverse crowd, you know, that we see at all of our shows and stuff, which is really cool, man. You know what I mean? Maybe, hopefully a little something for everybody.
Everybody. I think that is fantastic that you guys are doing that and having that impact and all those things. I think that's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. It's a blast, man. We actually just got back to Nashville about 30 minutes ago from doing a couple shows up in West Virginia. And so it was we stay busy constantly, you know what I mean? Always traveling and really our whole thing was kind of doing it like a grassroots style campaign to spread the word about the band and just try and meet as many people as you can, you know, really just by touring as much as we can, I guess, you know. And so it's been a lot of fun, man, you know. I got some good stories.
We are going to play some tracks off of this new record here, this Dawn. Tell me a little bit about which of these 6 tracks should I play first?
You know what? I think my 2 favorites are Always Never Fades, and then there's a song on there called Days that was really, really cool. I mean, I love all of them, you know, but live, those 2 are really cool to play live.
So tell me about Days. I'll play that first here on our program.
Okay. It was an older idea for a song, and we got with our producer Toby Wright. He's got a hell of a resume, man, from all the way back from the 1980s up to present day and stuff. And he really helped us a lot as far as the songwriting and putting everything together to get ready to record it and stuff. And so having 7 ideas, all thrown together in each one of these songs, I think we really came up with something cool. I think, so if that makes any sense.
Well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put you on a brief hold. We're going to play this track. Yeah. And when we come back, we have got more with Clinton from Stone Senate here on our big broadcast. It is Days.
Taken me so low.
That is amazing. That is Days, and it is Stone Senate. We are going to go back to the old Skype, the old Skype-a-rooney, and Clinton is with us back here on our big program. I'll tell you, you guys are pretty fantastic. That song was amazing.
Thank you so much for saying that. That's really kind of you, brother. Thank you.
So, how exactly does somebody book you? Because I've got 2 or 3 venues I know would want to book you. How the hell do people book you for shows?
You know what? A lot of folks go through our website. The booking agency about a year ago called the Conway Entertainment Group here in Nashville. Okay. And before that, man, I booked everything, for years, man. Yeah, so it was really nice, man, to get some help with it and stuff, But our website, stonesenate.com, has got all that information. Man, we'd love to come out there and play anytime.
Well, I'll tell you, you guys are amazing. Thank you for doing this. Thanks for making some good music. And before we let you go, how do people get your music and support the band?
Well, let's see. We're on all the streaming platforms, and we're on social media, Facebook. Let's see, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. As of recently, I had to give TikTok a shot here. And then of course, stonesenate.com has got all the stuff,
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you making time for us today. Thanks for coming on our broadcast, and we will talk to you soon. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you, man.
You too. Thank you for making time for me, brother.
Definitely. Have a wonderful day. There he goes. That is Clinton from Stone Senate, and they join us today here on our big, big program. So, that wraps it up here from this edition of our program. And we will see you next week. I'm getting real tired of the playing games with the keyboards. Get a hold of us online at JiggyJaguar.com. This is your next edition of the Quad Pod. Thanks for joining us here on our big, big program. So, we are going to go to our next guest. They are going to join us via the old Skype. Yes, the old Skype-a-rooney. And Martin Saint has joined the conversation. So let's go to our next guest. They are going to join us live here on our big, big program. And we welcome in our next guest. I don't know if he can hear us, but I can't hear him. He's muted. There we are.
Yeah, my mic was
muted. We're getting it going. I love that headset, by the way. That is fantastic. So,
no problem.
So Martin, tell me a little bit about yourself. Give us an introduction here, so people who have been hiding under a rock for the last couple of years. Well, go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, well, I guess you're familiar with my band, the Ember Glows, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Like you've played our stuff on your show.
I have, but there are folks that haven't heard of you guys that are in the audience, so give us a brief introduction.
Well, we're Montreal-based in Canada, all the way up north.
Canada.
Yeah, and we've been together for the last 3 or 4 years. We're all, I would say, fairly experienced musically, so we all come from different projects, different backgrounds. But more importantly, we've all been friends a long time. And it so happened that in 2019, I would say the time was right to finally do something, the four of us together. And it started as a side project, but eventually it became everybody's main priority because we felt that the chemistry was so good, the four of us in a room together. So, and as far as our sound goes, I mean, we'd be pretty much along the same lines as bands like Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, for example. All the British stuff from the early 80s, like Echo and the Bunnymen, The Cult, Simple Minds. This is kind of the kind of stuff that we've been compared to over the last year or so.
That's awesome.
And
That's
yeah, there's
awesome.
four of us. I sing and play second guitar. There's Richard on lead guitar, there's Kevin on bass, and there's Dan on drums. And that's it. And, you know, in studio, we sometimes I'll take triple duty on keyboards as well. And we have, I think we have a fairly good chemistry going.
So, what has been the reception to your music so far?
It's been good. I mean, we've had a lot of airplay. We've had some rave reviews that we were quite pleased with. And I felt that a lot of the writers who did some write-ups about our stuff really got the spirit and they knew where we were coming from. But at the same time, what I find is important is that we're not derivative. You can really tell that we know where we come from, yet at the same time we try to add our own modern twist to it, our own individual footprint, and also the four of us, we have a common nucleus in terms of the things that we like and the things that we try to sound like. But I think it's important to mention that we also differ in a lot of in a lot of different aspects that I find it brings our own each our own individuality to the project and adds to the whole.
That's awesome. We have got a great guest with us today. Martin joins us from the Ember Glows. And so what has been, I guess, some of the feedback you guys have received on social media?
As I was saying before, we got a lot of comparisons with the Cult, with Echo and the Bunnymen.
That's awesome.
People comment on that we have and I quote, a big sound, like something cinematic, something that would, you know, fit in a movie, fit in a TV show, like, you know. So I always joke around that it's the kind of music sometimes you see the final scene where, you know, the guy and the girl make up as they're one of them's about to board a plane, and they say, "Please don't go," that sort of thing.
That is awesome.
Or on the contrary, you can have something. Not all our songs sound the same, which is something that I really like actually, because you have some of them that would be could be perceived as more sentimental, more epic that way, but you have some that could also be edgier, a lot edgy, like more biting, darker. That could be more of like film noir almost. So we try. I think there's a bit of a crossover potential because there's something for the more mainstream people, but there's also something in it for people who like edgier, more off the margin, like goth, like something a bit more alternative and a bit more niche. You know.
That's awesome. That is tremendous. So I'm going to place you on a brief hold. And we're going to play we're going to actually play a track, and then we're going to come back and talk about it. So I'm going to put you on a brief hold, and we will be back with Martin from the Ember Glows. And the song that we are going to play is Tomorrow's Day.